This is Mr. Brown. I just want to talk to you about how to make a Google slideshow. If you ever used PowerPoint before, this is kind of Google's version of it, but it is totally free and it is very easy to collaborate on. It is a little bit different, but there's a lot of similarities, and I've gotten to where I do not use PowerPoint. All I use now is Google Slides. If you go to their site, they do have some basic templates that you can use. You can see these here. I'm going to go to the gallery, and they've got some starters, some different things that you can use if you want to go that route. I usually don't use a template, but if you want to do that, it's a nice thing to do. I'm going to start with a blank presentation, and then I'll kind of show you some stuff that I've already got. One thing that I think a lot of people overlook when they do this is you need to think about where this is being presented and is it going to be able to be seen and read easily. So a lot of times if I'm doing a slideshow for my classroom, I may do a really simple white slide and black letters and make sure my font size is really big, just because that's what's going to be easiest to view. It may look nice and pretty on the laptop screen, and then you project it and it doesn't look as good. So I just want to talk about, some of those things as I go through how to use it, some of those little things about why I do things certain ways. And everybody has to do what works for them. There is a creativity side to this, but you also have to think practically what you're using it for and what's going to work the best, even if sometimes it may look a little plain. It doesn't matter how great it looks if people are not able to read it. So keep that in mind. You can choose, they've got a lot of themes here that you can choose from. I'm just going to pick one. This is one I don't use much, so we'll play with it today. The other thing that's nice about this, once you pick the themes, is you can kind of update for the current slideshow how you want the theme to look, and I'll talk about that in just a second. One of the ways that you can do this is from simply going to the layout, and this is what you want for the slide. If you want a section header, if you want a title and body slide, if you want title and 2 columns, and all of these various types that they have. The ones that I use the most really is like the section header or the main point thing that they talk about, and just depending on stylistically which I want to use, they're really the same thing. They just look a little different. And then the title and body slide is probably the most common that I use. So like I may say section here, this is sample PowerPoint, or I called it a PowerPoint, sample Google slideshow. And then if I go to a new slide, and now maybe I want to use this title and body layout, so I'll just go sample, and I'll do sample, right? And you can do, over here is where you can do bullet points, or you can do a numbered list. You can hit the drop down and have different options of the way that looks. And you can see how we navigate that and do these things. One of the little things, if you want to go and do a sub point and then go back to the main thing, it says there's a control shortcut, but I just usually just click up here. So now I can go back to the second thing on my list and go through with that. If I want to do another slide, right? And so this is slide 2 and whatever information, right? It's there. One of the things that is really cool is if I don't like that this is 18 font, right? And so I'm going to say, look, we're going to make this 24 font so we can see it. I actually recommend using 24 at least. I usually try to use 30 if I can. And I don't like the gray font. I want to make sure it's black, and maybe I'm going to change it to Times New Roman, right? So I've changed that in my slide. If I want to make it for every one of these boxes with this type of slide, I can right click and I can update in theme. And what just happened, you notice there's a box up here, updated in theme, 2 slides changed. Okay. So I go back to this same slide that's similar, and it updated in theme. The one thing that it does not do that is kind of annoying is the bullet points here are not updated the way they should be like the rest of it is. So you do have to go in and manually do that, which is unfortunate. but that's just kind of what you have to deal with there. But it is nice to be able to at least get your font to be the way you want it to be. The other big thing that a lot of people love to do with Google Slides is insert images, and there's a lot of ways to do it. You can old school upload it from your computer. You can actually search the web within this. It does limit it down, but if you use this tool to search the web, it's ones that you can legally use, which is nice. And it has the drive tool, and you can use URL. You can even take a picture on your camera, whatever you want to do. It's very accessible for different types of things. So I'm gonna click search the web because it's the easiest to do. And like I said, these are all Google's already like approved that you can do this. And so I'm just gonna look at, I don't know, we'll look up a flower. And so I pick the picture and I hit insert, and then I can move the picture however I want to do that. All right. The other really big thing about using Google Slides is being that they're collaborative, and this is the reason why I really like them. If in the top right you hit the share button, you can then share it with whoever you want to. You do have to name it before you do that, which is really important also for your organization. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And then I would pick the email addresses, put in the people I want to share it with, and you can have them have access to edit it. They can, which is self-explanatory, and you can be working on the same document at the same time from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet access, which is really, really nice. They also have the comment feature where you can just leave like a suggestion, which you can't actually edit it. And then you can also give them view only, where they can only look at it. One thing to keep in mind, anybody that can view this can just go file, make a copy, and they can steal your work. So just keep that in mind if you're doing that with it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope the video was helpful. Thanks.